excited to get to the next city, Winnipeg, but most of the guys in the van were pretty tired after rocking out.
Winnipeg was a long drive. It was like 9 or 10 hours away. It's going to be a tough one, so we thought we'd get a head start and, leave that night.
The plan was to drive about 2 or 3 hours outside of Saskatoon, and we'd be camping in the prairies.
We were past a couple of gas stations. Jason, should we stop here and grab some gas? He's like, nah, let's just go and we'll pick some up on, when we get out of the city. And I was like, yeah. I didn't really argue because I kind of wanted to get out of the city too.
I really didn't worry.
We're driving and we're like, oh, there's no cities left anymore. So we got like a quarter tank of gas or something, and we're just like cruising along, and it's like, okay, we started hitting these towns and like driving into them, and all their gas stations are closed.
The next largest city was a town called Lanigan. It was about 200 kilometers outside of Saskatoon. We thought there was no way we could make Lanigan.
Alright, we can make it to this town. On the map at least, it looked like they would have a gas station. Lanigan is our goal. It's like 100 kilometers away from Lanigan, and our gauge is at like empty. And we're driving. Like, man, are we gonna make it? Like Lanigan's so far away.
I remember I was asleep in the van.
All the while this is happening, there's like this amazing like lightning storm going on outside. Every which way you look, the sky is lighting up. So everyone in the van is sleeping. It's just me and Jason who are awake. Like we're cruising, we're like, man, are we gonna make it? There's like lightning going on. It's like this creepy kind of thing going on.
We ended up making Lanigan.
Just as we're getting in, we run out of gas.
We kind of laughed it off, like, what's a road trip about running out of gas just once?
Pushes the van to the nearest gas station.
There are a couple of gas stations, but they're not open, sadly.
It's just like a ghost town where we were. Nothing was open. It was pitch dark.
We're a bit stuck. We didn't really know what to do. Me, Jason, and Tag, we kind of started thinking that maybe it would be best for us just to spend the night in Lanigan at the gas station.
Just pull the van over to and get some gas in the morning.
The problem was that Kelly wasn't sleeping in the van, and secondly, Dirk was on a mission to get home to Winnipeg. So when we were parked at this gas station, this newlywed couple ended up showing up at the gas station. Pearl Jam fans are on their honeymoon. They went to go see a bunch of shows. They were at the show in Saskatoon, and they were driving out to Winnipeg, and they combined, like, anything we can do for you. Can we go get you gas?
This was one night that we probably didn't need the help of the friendly Pearl Jam community.
What we did see is this is an opportunity was that for Kelly, she could hop a ride with them and then go to the next kind of major town, stay at a hotel, and we could pick her up the next day. After they left, we were kind of like, even if they find gas, we're just going to camp out. So we set up our beds. Everyone was like just about ready to sleep, except for Dirk. He plugged his phone into like the side of the gas station, and he was charging it and waiting like anxiously for this phone call because he so wanted to get home to Winnipeg. So we're just about nodding off to sleep, and he like comes banging on the back door of the van. He's like, guys, they found this gas station. I mean, if we would have gotten the phone call, we might have said, like, thanks for the effort. But they came back, they brought us gas. They didn't bring Kelly with them. They left Kelly at the gas station. So now she wasn't at a hotel, she's at a gas station waiting for us to pick her up. So now it's like, okay, we have to go. We got to the gas station, got Kelly, we had a little powwow. We were like, okay, what do we want to do tonight? And Kelly kind of agreed that, it would be a bit wasteful for her to stay in a hotel for the night if it was already like 3:30 or 4 a.m. or let's keep on going, I guess.
So I'm driving. The show got me so wired, I just kept going and going, and probably didn't realize how tired I actually was.
The plan was me and Tack would sleep in the back on the futon and rest up so we could take over from Jason. And we designated, since Dirk was so in favor of us driving the whole way, him to be co-pilot. 2
hours later, I passed by another gas station, and I'm like, oh, I'm not making this mistake again, so I fill up. It's about 5:45 at this point in the morning, and I thought, yeah, I'm pretty tired. Maybe I should switch up drivers right now, but everyone was passed on the back, so I'm like, okay, I'll do 1 more hour and then I'll switch up.
Jason had been driving most of the day into Saskatoon, and he was pretty much drove most of the way out of Saskatoon too, so he had done a majority of the driving, but he continued on, and me and Tack were asleep in the back, and everyone was asleep, and eventually Dirk was asleep in the front, and Jason, he stuck it through.
So it's 6:30 now. I'm starting to feel it. I've been driving a straight road since the gas station, and everyone was fast asleep, and I hadn't seen traffic in half an hour. I thought, okay, next opportunity again, I'm going to pull over and switch up drivers. 10 minutes later, I see this town just ahead. And I'm like, all right, great. This is the perfect opportunity. I'm going to pull over and get some sleep. Someone else can drive. And that's when I relax for a second.
I heard a couple of bumps, and then I hear something sizzling in some water. And look around and look out the back window, and there's like these weeds high as the wind. I'm like, whoa, what the hell just happened?
Van crosses the lane of traffic, and then I feel a bump. That wakes me up. I don't know what the hell is going on, so I slam on the brakes. But that just slid the van further into the mud.
We're in a ditch in the middle of Saskatoon.
Luckily, we were in the prairies, and the ditches, they're designed shallow enough for incidents just like this.
Dirt went running around. Eventually, I think he found a telephone. We called CAA and pulled us out of the ditch. Our whole undercarriage was filled with weeds. We expected some kind of event of this caliber to happen during the trip, and we were all safe, so it wasn't a big deal at this point anymore. Let's carry on.
I got back into the van and drove the extra 100 meters into town and finally made the switch.
And we're driving, for another half an hour. And every once in a while, we kind of hear like some thumping in the back. It's probably just weeds stuck underneath of the van. We're cruising down this straight stretch, and then boom, out in the back, we hear this big explosion. The tires exploded. We're like, oh, fuck.
Why do I keep fucking up?
What had happened was when the tow truck pulled us out, all the weeds pushing up against the back ended up bending the tailpipe. The tailpipe was kind of rubbing up into the tire on and off.
The sidewall was ripped completely, torn apart.
That was our strike 3 for that drive to Winnipeg.
I was just really kind of thinking if we were going to make it the whole way across. I mean, we weren't even halfway there, and we were having all these problems.
If it wasn't for such a great show the night before, it would be question of desire to continue. But we were all right, and we still had it, so we made it to Winnipeg.
Here we are, we made it to Winnipeg.
When we got into Winnipeg, we dropped off dirt back home and we got the van checked out. Everything seemed alright, so we bought a new spare tire and we bent the muffler back into place. The tour can now continue on.
Had a really rough night, and we kind of figured we should spend the night in the hotel and just have a good night's sleep and a good bed. Found some hotel downtown close to the venue. Totally chilled out before the show, went for a beer, made some signs actually for the show.
Ed was on fire in Saskatoon, so I don't know what it was, but we figured the more wine he drinks on stage translates into a great show, so we kind of wanted the repeat performance in Winnipeg, so we decided to make a sign.
Tack early on in the show, got his Ed drink more wine, saw it, he laughed, and then he grabbed his wine bottle, took a big swig, so that was pretty cool. On the other side, we thought we would tell our kind of story of our night, but we're still going, and then at the very bottom it says, why do I, ... a reference to the song Fucking Up. Just as the band starts playing into Fucking Up, we've got the sign up there. And
Ed reads the sign and kind of smiles at us for a little while and shrugs his shoulder and kind of saying, what can you do? At least he made it safely.
so that was really cool. They actually played the song when we were in Winnipeg, and we had the sign up. That kind of made us feel a little bit better.
So I wasn't really looking forward to the Winnipeg show, but it turned out to be a great night, great show. One of the best shows so far.